Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at getting started with the Sorcerer Kings in Conquest, the last argument of kings, using the faction's 2025 Supercharged starter set as a starting point. Big thanks to Parabellum Wargames today, who have made this video possible with their fantastic support. They've given us a discount affiliate code to use, which will get you 10% off your purchases from the Parabellum Wargames e-store, and also go a long way to help supporting the channel while you grab that discount for yourself as well. Leading the box set is a Sorcerer. Now the Sorcerer is a pretty decent wizard. Wizard 7 means they can roll 7 dice when casting any spells, trying to look for at least 2 successes most of the time. The Arcane Conduit rule as well means at the end of each round, if this regiment or character stand is in range of an objective, you can actually add a ritual marker to a ritual that's currently being prepared. Rituals are like these super big spells that the Sorcerer Kings will get access to. They can be used throughout the game to sort of chant up and then added into your strategic deck with powerful effects. The Sorcerer also does have a ranged attack as well, Barras 3 and range 14. The Supremacy ability is Omnipotence. The Warlord may target enemy regiments as a friendly regiment with the Born of Flame or Born of Air special rule is currently in contact with them to either target those spells regardless of the spell's range or the spellcaster's line of sight. So pretty cool. Or your Born of Air or Born of Flame, depending on what you are, you can sort of push your spells through. Now speaking of that, you will get spells based on either court of your choice, and you've also got rituals to cast as well. Now if the character stand collects the Court of Fire, then the character stand in any regiment they are currently attached to gain the Born of Flame special rule, and vice versa if they select the Court of Air. Next up we have the Ghouls. Now the Ghouls are a light infantry unit. They can be either from the Born of Flame or Born of Air, so you can have them depending on whatever you want to go with. But they do have the Elemental special rule, which is something common amongst a lot of different units. If a player in control of a regiment with the special rule activated a ritual command card in their previous draw command step, this regiment gains the following until the end of the round. They can perform a free activation during their action. Now, this free action follows all the normal rules for performing actions. In addition, a character stand without the Elemental special rule cannot attach itself to a regiment with this special rule. Now, they also have Unstoppable built in thanks to their standard bearer, so they've got that reroll charge, and Vanguard 4 as well allows them to make some extra move as they come onto the table. We then have our Dano Disciples, and this would be where our Sorcerer would join in. Dano Disciples are pretty decent archers with Barras 5, so an extra attack you would gather over the generic sort of 4 attacks per stand at range, and range 18. They've also got Arcing Fire as well, which means they can actually, if they've got an aim shot and is not currently occupying a piece of garrison terrain, instead of performing a volley action as normal, it can perform the following: take a -1 to its volley characteristic and shoot someone that is an enemy regiment in its front arc with the barrage range of at least one of its stand in line of sight of a friendly regiment, and perform a volley action as if it were a clear shot. So you can sort of ignore intervening terrain, which is really cool. We then have the Rakshasa Ravana. Now this is a model automatically from the Court of Fire. It is Born of Flame, and so generally that's probably where you're going to want to lean with your Sorcerer and your Ghouls as well, to be fair. 12 attacks, 16 wounds. This model is a very interesting model. Fiend Hunter means it can reroll all failed hits against Monster and Brute, while Hubris will allow it to add +3 to its charge distance. And Last Word as well means upon this regiment being destroyed, target enemy regiment within 18 inch can suffer 8 automatic hits. So it is something that's going to go out, fight your enemy monsters, and really have a good upper hand against them. Lastly, we have the F3 Sword Dancers. These are another Born of Flame unit. They're pretty deadly in combat. 6 attacks each with Clash 3. They've got Impact 3 in there as well for some extra damage on the charge. And Infernal Branding as well means if an enemy regiment's in contact with this regiment and becomes a target of a spell from the Court of Fire, that friendly spellcaster gets some additional successes as well. And so where to go next? First of all, we're going to look at the Maharaja. I think this is an excellent spellcaster, probably one of my favourite ones for the army. Now, you can only have one Maharaja for each court in your force, so you can only have one from the Court of Air or one from the Court of Fire, as these are sort of the leaders of those particular things. Maharaja is a Wizard 7, much like the Sorceress, and has the Arcane Conduit rule as well. Supremacy ability is Elemental Confluence, where when a friendly character stand performs an Elemental Rites action and adds ritual markers to a ritual that is currently being prepared, you may add an additional ritual marker to one other ritual that's currently being prepared as well. So once you start getting those rituals going, they get going that little bit quicker thanks to the Maharaja. And so we do need another mortal unit for our Maharaja to join, and the Raja Kur are the other sort of main option we have besides the Dano Disciples. The Maharaja can join these Raja Kur. There'll be a solid defensive unit for him to join with defense 2 base and shields, giving them that extra point of defense in their front arc, and hardened as well, meaning they can ignore a point of brutal impact, armor piercing and cleave as well. And so our force of the Sorcerer Kings today will have its first warband as the character as Maharaja. This is we're going to make our Warlord. I'm going to be from the Court of Fire. For regiments we then have our Raja Kur and a unit of Ghouls with 3 stands and Born of Flame in them, and we also have the Efreet Sword Dancers of 3 stands and the Rakshasa Ravna. Our second warband then is our Sorcerer. This model is from the Court of Fire. Then we have the regiment of Dano Disciples of 3 stands strong with them as well. We hope that this video was helpful in getting you started with Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment down below. And while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all our future Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings content.